So welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make ghee. So you can see already I have melted my butter, and I'm using 2 or 4 sticks of Kerrygold Irish butter, grass-fed butter. Feel free to use any high quality butter that you prefer. I am doing 4 sticks or a pound of butter. Feel free to do half of that if you don't have as large a family as I do. So what I've done already is I've melted this butter over medium-high heat. And now what I'm going to do is turn it to low. And I usually take it to about 1 or 2. And as you can see, there's some foam that's already starting to come to the top. And that's okay. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to set my timer for 15 minutes. And it's really important now that you're not going to multitask, like you're not going to move on to a different project, because it's really easy for you to forget about this. And believe me, I've done it before, and you end up burning your ghee, which is such a tragedy when you have a whole pound of delicious butter that gets completely toasted and burned. So while this is cooking, I just thought I'd share with you a couple benefits of ghee. And ghee is also known as clarified butter. It's used in French cooking as clarified butter because it's able to handle such a high temperature. It holds together at that high temperature. So it's also known in Ayurveda as the crown jewel for Ayurvedic healing. It acts as a vehicle to bring the medicinal qualities of herbs and spices into the deep tissues of your body. And so therefore, when the spices are delivered with the ghee, they're able to absorb those medicinal qualities. Another amazing thing about this wonderful liquid or fat is that it is also, it ignites your digestive fire. And then it's also easy to digest, which means that it's good for all doshas. So whether you're kapha, pitta, or vata, this is tridoshic, meaning it's beneficial for all. And then another really great benefit of ghee is that it enhances ojas. And ojas is basically our deep, vital energy reserve. And this energy reserve, it enhances our immunity, our physicality, our endurance, a calm, clear, and intelligent mind, our contentment. Think of your ojas as fuel for your health, vitality, and your growth. So I'm going to pause the video for a moment while this keeps cooking, and then I'll come back on when stuff starts to happen. Ooh. So now you can see that the ghee is starting to bubble and pop, and there's a white foam that's coming to the top. This is normal as the different fats separate, different proteins. And it's also water evaporating. So it's going to be having like a little dance party for a while, probably for at least 10 minutes. And I still have my timer going. There's 12 minutes left. So I'm going to just let it keep going. And then when it starts to get really quiet, like when I don't hear as much popping, then it means it's almost done. So then I really will come back and hover. So again, I'm going to pause the video and I'll be right back. You can see it here starting to foam a little bit more. Listen to that sound of the gentle simmer. And here I have about 6 minutes left, according to my timer. So we'll see how accurate the time is. I find that sometimes it depends on the butter that I'm using, how long it takes. So it's not an exact process, it's really a feel. So you get better with practice. So this is 15 minutes in, but as you can see, it's not done yet. Once it's done, it will be still and it will be golden, and those solids will sink to the bottom. So I'm going to set my timer for 5 more minutes and then check back. So my timer for 5 minutes went off and it's still going. You can still see that it's very active. So I went ahead and set my timer again for 5 minutes. I am just near this pan. I'm not going too far. And I'll let you know how it is. I'll let you know the next time I come on. It will be when it's started to calm down and it's quiet, so you can see what that looks like. And then we'll turn off the heat. So now I'm hovering as the popping sounds are getting more intermittent and quiet. And if you can see the foam on top, it's kind of started to harden as well. And some of those will sink to the bottom and turn like a golden brown. And then others are just gonna get caught when I strain this through the cheesecloth. So I'm just gonna give it a couple more minutes. It's now been actually 25 minutes since it was melted when we first started. So this butter is definitely taking longer than others. But I'd say it's about done. I mean, really you could take it off, but I'm gonna give it maybe just a couple more minutes to really quiet down. So now it's getting really quiet, and I think it's done. So I'm gonna turn my heat off and remove it from the heat. And then basically I'm gonna let it sit just for about 15 minutes, and then I'll show you how I strain it. So I'll set my timer for 15 and then come back. So my ghee is ready to pour into my jar. So you can see it's beautiful golden color and the little solid bits on top and also on the bottom. And then here I have a wide-mouthed mason jar, so 16 ounce, and a cheesecloth strainer. It's actually, I got this a while back. It's a nut milk bag, and I recommend getting one. You can get them on Amazon or at the co-op, and it'll also be helpful for making your own milks at home. So all I'm going to do is pour now. If I can do this while I hold my camera. And you can see a lot of the solids actually staying in the pan. Drip, drip, drip. And then here's the bottom of the pan. And I may have kept it on there a little long because you can see those dark brown bits that could have burned. So luckily they didn't. But that's why you have to hover closely to make sure that you don't burn your ghee. And then all I do is take my nut milk bag and pull it up, and you'll see there's some solids right there. I'm going to let it drip and give it a little squeeze. And there you go. Beautiful golden ghee. So you don't have to refrigerate ghee. You can keep it in your cupboard so that it stays soft. It will harden a little bit, but it won't get as hard as, say, olive oil, or sorry, not olive oil, but coconut oil. And then I use it for a lot of my cooking. I love it spread on toast. I love it when I make my curry bowls. It just brings a wonderful kind of sweet, rich flavor. And if you want it to last longer, just put it in the fridge. It will obviously get harder. But I hope you enjoy this beautiful, beautiful, healthy, healing ghee.